Well, Mr. Victor Odjemu will join us from our Abuja studios. He's a legal practitioner to explain, yes, indeed, you heard the report. The speaker has gone to court. So the court says status quo should be maintained until they eventually reconvene the House. Morning, thank you for joining us. Just give us your interpretation or meaning of this matter. Now that he's gone to court, what does that mean to all the parties who are supposed to do anything? Are they supposed to just sheath their sword if no matter how long the case goes? Does that mean that everyone will have to wait until all the matters before the court about this case is determined?
Thank you very much. I'm not privy to the reliefs being sought by those who went to court. I've not seen the reliefs. Neither have I seen the order, but I have to go by the reports in the media. What I understand at the moment is that an order has been made for the status quo to be maintained. What is the status quo that is being maintained? Is it that the House should not reconvene until
is it until December 3rd?
Yeah. If that is the position, my candid view is that I understand that the order was made ex parte. The defendants have not been heard, and that matter has been adjourned to Friday for that to be done. If that is correct, I believe that when the other side is heard, the court will take a different view, because the Constitution is quite clear on what the cities, who can determine the cities of the House. The cities of the House cannot be determined by a court. The Constitution is quite clear that it is only the House itself that can regulate its sittings. Either they go on recess, or they reconvene, or they are summoned to commence sitting. It is a matter within the purview of the House itself, by virtue of the provisions of the Constitution, so, the extant provisions of the Constitution.
You're saying that the courts, even though they're going to hear this matter, you say the law is clear on it, the courts will not determine in terms of when they resume and who can convene the House?
I'm saying that a court must act within its jurisdiction. The court cannot expand its jurisdiction. I believe that based on constitutional provisions, the court cannot determine when a House will sit, the House of Reps elected by Nigerians will sit, or will adjourn, or will return from its recess. It is not within the jurisdiction of a court to determine that. Section 60 is very clear. You understand? Section 60 says it is the House that will regulate its own procedure, including the procedure for summoning and recess of the House. So it doesn't give the courts the authority. It's within the purview of the House to do so. And if the House forms a quorum and decides to reconvene the House before any date, or at any date that it likes, I don't see how the courts have jurisdiction to stop that from happening.
So are you suggesting that the courts will just go ahead and tell them, these are your rules, this is how the House can be convened, and it should be adhered to stricto sensu?
That is what I believe. I believe that the order that was made now, from what I understand, like I said, I've not seen any of the process, but I'm going by media reports that the order was made ex parte, pending when the other side will be heard from on Friday. I believe when the other side is heard from, the other side should be able to point the court in the right direction, that is in the constitutional direction, in the direction of the express provisions of the Constitution, which empowers the House and the House alone to determine the issue as to when it goes on recess and when it reconvenes. It is within its express purview.
You know, now they have all the time till Friday, and according to the Justice Ramat Mohammed, he says, well, they really can't can't act on that pending when they when they all meet in court on Friday. In the wake of all of this, now you're trying to explain what that means, saying that ex parte, which truly that was what they got from that particular one, this interim order, injunction stopping them from reconvening before Friday. What does this mean, as a lawyer, when you say a court has stopped the House from reconvening till Friday? What does that mean to you as a lawyer?
Well, it's simple. It's plain enough. The court, I said this ex parte because, of course, ex parte orders in law have some implications. It is for a short time. It is pending when you hear from the other party. And that's exactly what the court said, that they want to hear from the other party on Friday. So the time limit, as far as I understand it, of that order is Friday. After Friday, the court will hear from the other party, the other parties, the defendants in the matter, and they will, like I said, the court will be pointed in the right direction, I believe, because the provisions of the Constitution are quite clear on the issue, and I believe that when the court hears the other side, they will know that it's not their business to determine when the House reconvenes or goes on recess.
How does it work? Must all sides be heard, knowing full well that we have the acting Inspector General of Police, we also have the PDP chairman, the PDP, and a couple of other leaders, about 7 of them that he has actually dragged to court. Must all of them be heard on Friday before we move forward?
If all parties have been served with the processes, it's not compulsory that all may be heard before decisions are taken, but provided it shows the other people who are concerned about the matter ought to come forward to state their position if they've been served the necessary papers, because I think they have a stake in seeing that their own side of the story is heard. So I believe that they want their side of the story to be heard on Friday. I believe they want that to
well, before they eventually went, okay. Before they went to court on this matter, I mean, there was that argument about who can convene, what's the procedure, and then there was that headline that the Deputy Speaker may eventually convene if the House has this quorum or majority. And so now that this case is in court, you think that it will put paid to all of this, or do you think that in spite of maybe whatever the court rules, depending on the priors before them, the House will still play politics?
I believe that, like I've said earlier, I still maintain the position that the issue of whether the House goes on recess or is summoned back to reconvene, it's purely within the purview of the House itself. It's not something within the jurisdiction of the courts. I believe when the court is pointed in the right direction, that they will reverse the interim order that they've given. They realize that they cannot expand their jurisdiction, which all courts know for certain. And so it's a purely political matter. It's not something in the realm of the courts to decide. Yes, and that the adjournment was done by the House. It was not the court. The court cannot ask the House to go on recess. Neither can the court ask the House not to resume from recess.